I am still exhausted. On Saturday, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace fans witnessed an absorbing clash at Selhurst Park, a game that had it all. I said on the vlog that the Eagles and the Cherries are perhaps two of football's less glamorous clubs when it comes to global exposure. But with one of them now FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners, and the other third in the Premier League, both teams served up a match that was fitting of two top six sides. It was simply brilliant, wasn't it, Tom?
It was, mate. It's a really weird one because obviously it was a proper rollercoaster of emotions through that game. But, listen, I think neither team probably in many ways deserved to lose, so it was fitting. It was a high scoring draw because that's what the game deserved for sure. But yeah, so many incidents, mate. Penalty, red card claims, hat tricks, debut goals. It was it was a wild one. I think it was one that a lot of people thought it could be. Yeah. But we know last few times we played Palace, they've ended up cancelling each other out, 0-0 there last year. But yeah, two top coaches, two proper good football teams, and really enjoyed it, mate.
So Bournemouth lost the lead twice. Palace were resilient as ever, came back, probably could have won it. Both sets of fans are cursing the ref at full time. But now that the dust has settled, I think we can agree that was one of the games, you said it, roller coaster, highs, lows, the agony, the ecstasy. It had it all. Sort of reminded me of almost like a Federer-Djokovic slogathon, but albeit in tennis, there has to be a winner. With this, do you think that 3-0's a fair scoreline? Because I think it probably is.
It probably is because I think... Palace never took the lead in the game. We had the lead, obviously, 1-0, 2-0, 3-2. So as much as you say they had more chances, but they were always going to because we're 2-0 up. Why would, of course, you're going to have more chances because you're the team that are trying to score. We're not in that sense. So, yeah, I think ultimately they had enough opportunities to deserve to take something out of the game. And I think the way we played away from home, a real top side, I think we done enough to get something as well. So I think it was a fair result, mate.
And look, thanks to the River Bourne, we are actually third in the table. If it was like the River Wessex or something, and we were called Wessex Mouth as a town, we would be below Liverpool. But it's by virtue of alphabetical order as we look at the league table. I mean, that's a hell of a top four. Arsenal, Manchester City, then us, then Liverpool. It does look good, doesn't it?
It does look pretty good, mate. Yeah, I think I messaged you, didn't I? So, well, surely we're fourth because of head-to-head, but head-to-head doesn't come into play until the end of the season, which is fair because I suppose you haven't played everyone. So I understand that. But yeah, shame I haven't got a cigar just to do a little Milos Kerkez daddy photo.
You put it on Twitter though, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. But no, it's pinch of myself kind of stuff. I can't believe, looking at the league table, that it's not a dream. And yeah, the fact we got to sing top of the league for a bit and all that stuff, it was really good fun, mate. But yeah, we're in an unbelievable position, and you would kind of look at it from the outside and go, "Oh, have Bournemouth not really played anyone? We've played some tough games, mate."
I think I said this on Kirk's Cherries Red Army vlog. He asked about how will you feel if we're top, and I said it will be incredible. It's not like we'd have only played a couple of games and you can be top by virtue of other results going your way. This is a significant chunk of the season.
You do hear a lot that second international break, when you get into that's when the table starts shaping. And you go, well, happy days then.
As a Bournemouth fan, these are the moments that you have to enjoy though. And the feeling right now, I mean, I think it's almost insurpassable. I mean, I've just been thinking and chatting to a few friends from school that they just defaulted to supporting Chelsea, to Manchester City, to Liverpool. And whilst they maybe have experienced highs of winning trophies, I know that we haven't won a trophy, but there's no better feeling than your hometown club, like born and bred, especially looking back at all the adversity that we've had to be where we are now. Is simply incredible. And the good thing is, I don't even feel as though we've hit top gear yet at all this season.
No, I know what you mean. There's been quite a few performances where you think, God, we showed a good bit of character about us, but we're better than that. I think we all go back, don't we, to the Tottenham away game was where how it was only 1-0. We were brilliant in that. But apart from that, there was a few games where you think, we've looked sturdier defensively, which wasn't the case in this one we've just had. So we're showing bits and bits in all sorts of games, but has it all come together as one really? So that's exciting for sure, mate. And yeah, we've obviously had the odd player missing in different games as well. And yeah, as you say, when it's your local club and when you've been where we've been, you don't have to go on about it. But it makes it more special, as you say, lots of mates that experience winning trophies. When I say experience, I do that because it's normally from a telly.
Exactly, and it must be a vacuous experience for them. Yeah, sure, they can have bragging rights in a pub, but, they've never been to Stamford Bridge. They've never been to Anfield. They've never been to the Etihad. We go week in, week out, and it makes that experience so much more. And I've got to say, for Palace fans as well, must be going through the similar kind of emotions that we have. Obviously, 2 trophies to their name in Europe this season as well. They must be absolutely buzzing. And so for 2 teams to be where we are in the table right now, 2 teams of a similar calibre. Of course, they're a bigger club, but
I know what you mean.
We're trying to get there. And what a game it was. It was so good. And it was unlike many clashes between top 6 sides, because sometimes they can be a little bit tentative, a little bit nervy. I know that the following day it was quite tasty between Man United and Liverpool. They're 2 of the big 6 sides, but this had absolutely everything, and to be 3rd in the league, it is a good place to be. But there are a few talking points, Tom.
Just a bit, mate. Yeah, we'll have to get into a few of them. But as you say, mate, reiterate all you say. I think at the moment we are even though we're above it, we're the best of the rest. I would call Palace and Bournemouth. Both from a neutral's point of view, I would have thought if you're a neutral, you would like watching Bournemouth and Palace because they've got 2 of the best coaches, play really good football,
easily.
They've got young players, all that sort of good stuff. So it was a really enjoyable one, mate, and at least both teams can come out with a little bit of pride as well. The fact that we got a good point and they managed to salvage it at the end.
So someone on Twitter asked, what is the limit for this team? I'm not so sure. I mean, there have been some videos out. I think Adam Cleary on his channel suggested that Bournemouth could win the league. I mean,
no, that's a
could we?
No, absolutely not. I mean, that's never been done before, Leicester. No, I don't. And listen, at the end of the day, we don't want to, I'll dip into it now because you don't want to go into it too much because it's annoying to keep bringing it up. But Palace fans will be able to reiterate as well, because I'll be able to put them into the same conversation, that we've both got to enjoy it as much as possible, because how long are we both going to keep our coaches for? Is one. How long are we going to keep our star players for? Yeah, you can talk about, say, Wharton for them, for example, or even Mateta now, and Gahey looks like he's probably going to go. We're obviously talking mainly about Semenyo and the 2 coaches. We don't want to go on about it because we've got to enjoy it, but that's why we've got to enjoy it, because we're not going to keep them forever. But in terms of this season, mate, I think the case of the matter is, if you offered me 7th, I'd rip your hand off.
Absolutely.
So, even though we're talking where we are, I think we know that it's going to be really tricky to keep up this sort of form. But the more points you get and the longer the season goes, you never know. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we've got so many points on the board and we're not going to get dragged into anything, to be honest.
What are your thoughts on us singing about Europe and Champions League? Because there are some Cherries fans that really don't like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a superstitious man, but let's give it. I mean, that song doesn't mean we start playing well. It's a load of rubbish. I just think it's funny.
And also, I mean, when Rochdale sing "We're the greatest team the world has ever seen," that's also not true.
Rochdale beat Yeovil 3-0 at the weekend, so give them a break.
Hello.
But yeah, no, I know. There's just we're doing it in jest, because sometimes we sing a song and I think, well, Roma aren't in there. Do you know what I mean? So it's just in jest. But it's good fun though. Singing top of the league. We're going to win the league. We're probably not. So
top of the league for a bit, but obviously
good hour, mate.
Yeah.
Say that.
Then Arsenal obviously got their results in their game at Craven Cottage, and there we were, 4th in the table. But then up at Anfield on the Sunday, Manchester United pulled off what was a relatively shock result, I suppose, by nicking a 2-1 win, and as we know, 3rd in the table. But I look back at that Liverpool match that we played in the start of the season. Liverpool have been awful all season. Were they almost lucky to play us when we weren't up and running?
I think I said this to you actually when we were messaging about it. I think that when you're a team like Liverpool, they don't look right, but they've got so much quality that they can just get away with it. They kept just getting away with it. And then all that happens is one time you don't get away with it and you get nicked the other end. Obviously Palace were one of the sides that did that. It's like a snowball then. Do you remember City last season? I could definitely bring it up because we were the team. But they didn't look right, but they kept winning. Then we beat them. They lost.
Yeah.
And it feels the same with Liverpool now.
They lose 4 in a row now.
Yeah, they lose one game and now it's like blah, blah, blah. So I think that can happen quite often. But they've got so much quality that they'll grind some things out in the end, I guess. But yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because everyone was happy, like kind of jokingly, like, oh my God, we're still above Liverpool. Because I wanted Liverpool to win because I think we're not going to finish above Liverpool.
No.
We're not. But I genuinely believe we can finish above Man United.
Yeah.
So I'd rather them lose, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's a bit like the Fulham Arsenal one. Yeah, it looks cool to be top, but we're going to be closer to Fulham.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So I think the bigger picture, I actually wanted Liverpool and Arsenal, to be honest. But
so that was a London away day where we didn't lose. I'm struggling to think of the last time we actually lost in London. Can you remember?
And how many of them have been high-scoring draws, by the way?
Yeah, 2-2 against Chelsea.
2 against Fulham.
Yeah.
There was another one as well. 3-3
Spurs
Palace.
was a 2-2, was that?
Oh, yeah. And we beat Spurs 3-2 as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's been a lot of high-scoring games. I think it was Brentford.
Early last season.
Yes, when that one Kepa got beat at the near post, do you remember 3-2?
Yeah.
I think Clive scored a nice goal.
Brooksy scored in that one, no?
No, that was the 2-2 with Neto.
Oh, okay.
So it was 3-2 defeat. Clive scored from a corner, really nicely worked.
Oh, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
I do remember.
But we lost that one 3-2, and I think that was the last one. And that was about a year ago.
Yeah, wow.
I think we haven't got a team in London for a while.
Yeah.
So
it could be a year.
So it's going to be a year since we lost in London, I think, mate. Yeah, happy days.
Okay, so look, how much of this show should be dedicated, and he would love this, towards referee Jared Gillett?
Depends how long you want me to be on the show for.
I mean, was it that bad a game that he had?
He's always bad.
Or was it just that one decision?
No, it wasn't. He wasn't great, but yeah, I know what you mean. It was more the big talking point. I think it's who it was as well. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I love every other ref, but I think the thing with Gillett is we've always moaned about him, and it feels like he's the type of one that wants to make it about him. So I think it just added to that.
Yeah.
Listen, I totally appreciate a lot of Palace fans saying, there was a few warnings and stuff, and there was a bit of pushing in the box. But if you're really honest with yourself, if that's a penalty, then you're getting a penalty in every single game, every single week.
Well, the thing is, this like warning thing, like I appreciate it with yellow cards, because if a player makes a foul, you usually, will say, look, that's an accumulation of that, and that. That's why you're being booked. But that don't work with penalties. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Therefore, if he saw that earlier on, he should have been giving it. He saw it later on, and you can't do it because it's happened previously.
Yeah, no. It's a very strange one, mate. And I just don't. Yeah, like I say, that happens every corner. I almost want to. I sit right behind the goal at home, don't I? I almost want to record every corner, because you could find a penalty.
Oh, it happens every time.
If you want to find something, you'll find it from a corner, and it just feels like Gillett was trying to find. I think in the back of his head, he's going, "Oh, should I have sent Leslie off?" I honestly don't see how that would have been a sending off anyway. I can't believe he even got asked on the screen, to be honest with you. A covering defender.
And there was.
Touched him.
And there was. So, yeah.
Wasn't last man. Wasn't through on goal either. You could put the steal as you like. That's going away from goal. So, yeah, never a red card. But, yeah, I don't see. And it's that baffling that on the screen at Crystal Palace, it said, as we know from our fan reaction, where everyone was saying, why are you saying Lewis Cook?
Yeah.
We were saying Lewis Cook gave away the penalty because that's what it told us.
Yeah.
And now it said it was Diakite who gave away the penalty. So VAR, the screen, didn't even know who gave away the penalty.
So how can you trust VAR if they can't even put something on the screen right?
And to be honest with you, I actually think, if you really look, I don't think it should be pulled up for anything. But if anything, it's a foul from Gay, in my opinion.
Well, Joe Partington was on the extended highlights on BBC Radio Solent and on AFCB TV, and you can hear what he says, and it is the classic 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Exactly.
In many cases, I think Gayhe's left arm almost pulled Diakite down.
Yeah, I think so, mate. And I can't believe that. So I don't think, put it this way, if that's not given, there's no Palace fan saying we should have had a penalty at the end.
Hang on, Mark Goldbridge also agreed and said it should have never been a penalty, and he is...
no stuff. But it's, as I say, it's Jared Gillett, and he really frustrates me. I don't think many people like him, actually. Do you remember the apology we had for that penalty, Ivan Toney?
Yeah.
Remember that one? That was Jared Gillett as well. That was one where I think Toney fouled our defender. So I think it might have been Celeste, actually.
I do wonder whether anything will come out about this one. I'm guessing not, because it ended in a draw maybe, and both sets of fans might see it as a fair result. I don't know, but I would love Howard Webb and Michael Owen to do that show that everyone laughs about on the Premier League YouTube channel or whatever it is, where we can see exactly what they say afterwards and whether there should necessarily be an apology. Now, Iraola was fuming full time. He was not happy, and it's unlike Iraola to be that outspoken. Do you think there could be any fines landing at his doorstep, do you think, after saying what he said?
I think if he says, I think it's a mistake, that's never a penalty, I think he's fine. I think the fact that he mentioned that he felt the reason VAR didn't call him to a screen was because Gillett went against him earlier, so he didn't call him back. That's almost doubting integrity, isn't it, of the VAR a little bit? So that could get him in a little bit of trouble. I wouldn't have thought any sort of touchline, maybe a fine of some sort. But I didn't. I mean, I'm not being funny. If you can't be frustrated in that moment, when can you be? I appreciate why he was annoyed. The team ragging on at the end. It seems like a mad call. I like that he's that frustrated, because it's a bloody good point. You're that gutted at the end. But I genuinely believe Lewis Cook fought against him, because at the end of the game, he was on the floor. and he would look absolutely devastated. And I know everyone was, but I think because he saw on the screen, I think he thought, oh, it was against me.
Yeah, and also there seemed to be a bit of a conflab between Iraola and Lewis Cook as well. Some people on the forums have been noticing, and I don't know what that conversation was about, but it's almost like Lewis Cook was like remonstrating with Iraola or whoever it was, saying, you know, what have I done? I can't remember doing anything. But yeah, really, really frustrating. Frustrating that he wasn't sent to the screen. It's almost like because it happened once, it can't happen again. That's what Iraola suggested.
Yeah.
Tough one to take for us because the points were there, but it was probably fair.
Yes,
and it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. But look, there are some real bad moments in terms of the refereeing, great moments in terms of the game itself. Not least, I remember before the game, we were distraught at seeing that Evan Ilson was out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kroupi. And Tom, there was a conversation that happened on the vlog.
Yeah, I hate the vlog.
We were talking about tattoos because your brother... He does. Yeah, what's his handle? Is it Benny Ball Patch or something?
Something like that, yeah.
And
I'm not even going to plug him.
You said something. What did you say, Tom?
I mean, I said, if we win and Kroupi scores, I'll get a tattoo. We didn't win. Then everyone's saying, oh, no, we've got footage. Why have we got footage? You're why we've got footage. Well, I can't say stuff anymore and they just deny it. But yes, I said that I would get a Kroupi tattoo if he scored. So we did go to a pub. So that's probably why I said it. But yeah, I'm a man of my word, as you can see.
What? Are you actually going to get it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got that from a bet. So yeah, it's done by me. I'll get a Kroupi tattoo before the next game.
If you're watching on YouTube, you may see a number of graphics on screen during the show. That's because we are using SofaScore, the footballing app for all things football and all things AFC Bournemouth. You love it, don't you, Tom?
I do love it, mate. I check out every live game I'm watching. Always check it out to see all the Bournemouth stuff as well. But yeah, I do really enjoy it. Really good to, you've got the eye test, but it's good to just see, am I right? So yeah, everything on there, mate. Every stats, live updates and all that. Good.
Yeah, live updates, heat maps, comprehensive features on there and a customizable experience as well. And by downloading the app, you help back of the net. So there's a QR code showing on screen. If you're watching on your TV, just grab your phone, point your camera at it, click the button, download the app. It's free. Just don't uninstall it, right? Because that won't help us at all. You can also go to afcbpodcast.com/SofaScore as well. Plus, there is a link in the description too. Your support is much appreciated. We were talking about Kroupi, Tom. There's a really good stat about him, isn't there?
Yeah, no player in Europe under 20, so no teenager, I guess, has scored more goals than Kroupi since the start of last season. So not bad. He was in French League too, but that's, yeah. No, but we've said it. I think I said it when I was chatting to you after the game, mate, that sometimes you think, with the levels and stuff, which obviously comes into play when you move from the French second division to the Premier League.
Yeah.
But there is something about, if you're a goal scorer, you're a goal scorer.
Yeah, we
used to always say it about Brett Pittman, for example. It didn't matter what league he was in, he put the ball in the net.
Yeah.
And I just think that, there's going to be loads of things that Kroupi needs to work on in his general play to be a Premier League player. But in terms of if it comes and he wants to sniff out a chance to put it in the net, he's already proven in probably 90 minutes of football, because he played one and then came on at the end of Leeds. That's what he's about. So really good stat, and really good to have that sort of player, mate. Someone that could just sniff out a chance and put the ball in the net.
There's a quote from BBC Radio Solent Sport on X where they had a chat with Amin Adli after the game, and he was full of praise for him, saying, I know when he is on the pitch he's going to score. His future is bright. It certainly is. So he scored a brace, but one person who did it better was Jean-Philippe Mateta. How much has that Wenger Boys song stuck in your head all weekend, mate? Oh my God. I went to bed on Saturday night, knackered. I just started humming it.
My guilty pleasure was always a bit of Wenger Boys. I always like. Do you remember? Did you ever go to Vinyl? Bit popular.
Yeah, next to Cameo. And all that, yeah.
And they always just put a bit of Wenger Boys comes on there. Oh, a bit of Bum Bum. What was the other one? Ibiza.
Oh yeah, of course.
We go into. Can we get a song for that? Have we got anyone that ends up like that?
We'll have to think.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a hell of a song, and I knew it was going to come. But he's a beast, mate. He
is an absolute
beast. And we said it, I think, afterwards, that all the goal scorers in that game, because you can add Christian as well, all had such a good week. Christie scored for Scotland, Kroupi got a couple for France under 21s, Mateta got his call up. It's like they carried it on.
He had so many chances during the game as well. I think a significant chunk of their XG was just him.
They said that It's the first time in the Premier League that a player has scored a hat-trick and underperformed their XG.
That is ridiculous.
Mad, because he was, I saw him on interval after, he was like almost gutted.
Yeah, he
at
was,
how many chances he missed. He scored a hat-trick. Obviously not ideal for us, but it just shows what a top striker he is, mate. And people forget that he had a couple of seasons before Glasner.
Yeah.
He looked like a flop. Shows the coach again.
He got more integral the way the game went on, and I think maybe a few tactical tweaks that we did maybe enhanced his performance in that second 45. Right, before we get stuck into the game, there's a few talking points to chat about, which are AFCB related. Julio Soler.
Oh, they lost in the final.
He didn't lift the trophy.
I know
Julio, Captain Julio.
I looked at the stat. They absolutely battered Morocco. They lost 2-0. But Morocco, the goalkeeper got man of the match, which I think says it all. But yeah, big achievement from him to get to the World Cup Under-20s final and captaining them along the way. So yeah, really pleased for him. Hopefully he can get back and still be in positive spirits despite losing the final, mate.
And also the women as well in the FA Women's National League Cup. They've progressed to the last 16 with a 1-0 victory over Queen's Park Rangers. We had a penalty in the first half. Katie James missed it. It was a good save from the keeper. But Kenny Thompson stepped up on 77 minutes and netted with aplomb. I watched the highlights on AFCB TV, so I don't know if this was indicative of the whole game, but it was all us. Right, it was all us. Whether we're just showing our best bits...
Maybe.
You know, these are your best bits.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the case with that. However, it looked like we absolutely
always
scored them.
Find a way.
Always
find a way, them girls.
Find a way. Absolutely superb from Helen Bleasard and co. So we were in the Portland Arms. We were going to go to the Prince George, weren't we?
Yeah, I think it was on Thornton Heath, wasn't it?
Yeah, or there's a last minute switcheroo because we found a parking spot that was ideal for us. And we went in there, 1:45, team users out. No ever.
Yeah, tears and making me make bold claims like I'm going to get a Google tattoo. But yeah, so that was obviously a surprise for us. I think the other shouts were really, is it going to be Jimenez or Hill? And obviously Jimenez played in there, and then would Christie come back in or would Scott play, blah, blah, blah. Obviously we knew Brooksy was going to be out. But yeah, the main talking point was the other one. Which was a real shame. It was nice to see Smithy back on the bench.
Yeah.
Araujo was also back on the bench.
Yes.
We had so many players that could play right back on the bench. It was mad. But
how did you do for their team in terms of predicting?
Got 10 out of 11. I went for Will Hughes over Kamada.
Okay.
But Kamada played. I actually thought Kamada looked quite good, actually. Yeah. But yeah, they were pretty much as expected, apart from that, which was probably one that was up for contention, really. It's a shame old Jeff didn't get on in the end the way the game went.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because of the last minute thing with Ever, that was a blow for us, and they were as expected. So it was a little bit more wary going into the game, I suppose.
So 0-0 aggregate scoreline last season.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't overly good. Do you think this game was a case of two managers that maybe restudied and studied and watched back what they didn't do right last season? They put them right, but maybe to the detriment of our defensive nous, because we certainly put it right in terms of scoring, just not defensively. But that's the same for Glasner's side as well.
Same for both sides. I think both sides probably went, opposition are on form, that we're not going to be able to keep them out all day. I think that's what they're probably going for. Let's both have a go. And listen, both managers are really the type of managers that want to have a go anyway. So I think it was, let's have a right crack. I mean, we do try and start fast early in every game, really. So I think we probably did think that. Let's try and get a lead. Let's try and quiet the crowd down. That's exactly what we did.
Although Semenyo got booked early doors, it was only about 2 minutes in.
Yeah, I felt very hard. I wanted, it was a clear foul, but you normally get away with him that early.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, that probably took a little bit out of him, I would say. What's interesting is I think a lot of Bournemouth fans probably said, Semenyo probably wasn't quite on his day.
I was about to say the same thing.
Every Palace fan's like, he's unplayable. And he probably wasn't at his level. Shows how good he's been. But he did have a big part to play in a couple of goals, to be fair.
Well, yeah, the first one. I mean, did he get the touch for the flick?
I saw that on Fantasy Football, he has not been given the assist.
Okay, so it looked like it came off a shoulder of some kind, so I don't know whether it's his or the defender behind him. It might have been a Palace defender.
Yeah, it was a difficult one, wasn't it? I think it was probably going to loop in anyway, actually.
Yeah.
Kroupi was there.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I thought it might have been going in anyway. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it again. But yeah, lovely. I wanted Kroupi to be there sniffing it out.
I want to do a shout out to Steve Hensman at this point, who was trying to get a Kroupi.
We had going in the concourse. I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you around the country. Eli Kroupi. Paparazzi.
Yeah, Kroupi in country though.
Yeah, fine. Country and paparazzi. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we're the best, mate.
I tell you what, Fox in the box though.
What
a great moment for him is the second goal away. Maybe he's just better away from home. We don't know. But brilliant stuff from us and a really good start. And I thought if you actually take a look at our attacking momentum, you can see that first part of the game was pretty much all AFC Bournemouth. So if you're listening on the pod, you've got your kind of lines where AFC Bournemouth look as though they're looking pretty potent. And the longer the line, you know, the more attacking impetus we got. And that first portion of the first half, we certainly looked like that. There was a really good link-up play between Taverns and Alex Scott, where Scott fired over the bar. That was really good. And Alex Scott, by the way, I thought the first half particularly, he shone because there was another chance, I think, from Semenyo where he twisted, he turned, looks like he was going to play it on his left, on his right. The ball through to him initially was this worldie of a pass from Alex Scott.
I think he's starting to really take a grip of games and really get, when he gets on the ball like that, I think he's rarely losing it now. I think he showed a lot more confidence. And listen, Ryan Christie, who we all adore, and he was our player of the season last season, is fully fit now. He's been fully fit for a while. And Donny's not putting him straight back in. I just assumed that when Christie's back, he's going to be back. But at the moment, you're kind of looking, going, I can see why he's still playing Scott. Scott's not doing anything wrong. And then Christie comes on with the energy. It's kind of working. But yeah, I agree, mate. I don't think he got a lot of applauders. But I thought, as you said, particularly first half, when we were obviously our best selves, I thought he was really, really pivotal in that.
I thought their fans were quite quiet. I thought Selhurst was meant to be like this cauldron, but
it's normally quite good, isn't it? But I think what happens is you get that early goal, mate. You get that early goal and he would have literally said it's that kind of cliche of getting an early goal, silence the crowd a bit. We certainly did that, mate.
They did have chances, though. Mateta's header, mate. I mean, it was Pino put the cross in. Gorgeous cross again, and he should have done better.
Yeah, he's got it when he gets above Celestia, as you'd expect. And I just thought, I'm just waiting for the next ripple. Petra's never going to get across there. But just missed the target. So, yeah, definitely that was one that you think, when that kind of thing happens, you go, oh, hopefully that's a little warning sign for us, but we've got away with one there.
I tell you what, we're at the QP, and I've just not necked, but we've only been recording a short while. That blackcurrant in lemonade is actually really nice.
Yeah, right.
You know what? It's a good place also to catch the European football this week. Why not have something stronger like a Guinness? There's going to be plenty of teams in action. So across the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday here, they've got all the TNT matches showing, including our next opponents. We'll probably have to talk about them and what on earth is going on at the City Ground a little bit later on. But back to AFC Bournemouth and Kroupi.
Mate,
right time, right place.
Let's talk about right time. I'm going to go have a pint. 38 minutes coming up. I'm going to go and have a pint. Hang on, there's Antoine. I've got to wait a little bit. How does it? To be fair to him, he gets the ball. Nothing really should happen.
No,
and he just lets the burners go, doesn't he? And he is unbelievable.
Well, the actual move that led to that, I think it was a clearance from Adams that Cliver then chested down to Kroupi, who played this sumptuous. It was only a short pass, but it was with the outside of the right boot and found Semenyo, and then he put the afterburners on. And then that first time cross, and
it wasn't a good cross.
They didn't deal with it, did they?
No, Gay kind of fluffed the clearance a little bit, but it's still kind of, you still look like he's dealt with it. And Kroupi, and that's a striker, just goes bang.
But he carried on that run from where he was, deep in his... So he was quite deep at the time, which kind of makes me think, is he being told to do more what Evan Nilsson usually does?
I think if you've got someone, you don't know how long it's been since they knew Kroupi was probably going to have to start. I don't know, Evans obviously picked something up lately, but... You at the end of the day, you don't want to change the whole function of a team that's doing really, really well. So they would have asked Kroupi to do a little bit more of that. But yeah, as you say, maybe still that fox in the box, and he was there, and it was a really nice finish because Henderson gets down well to it.
Yeah, he does.
But it was too much power on it. Hits the net, and I couldn't believe what was happening.
Right place, right time, and we were absolutely loving it. Scenes in the Selhurst Park stands. A couple of minutes later, I was about to say Tyler Adams gets booked. That seemed to be a turning point in the game because I thought up until that point we pretty much had control of the whole midfield, but after that, we weren't overly good. And how many cards is he on now?
4. He's on the dreaded 4, mate. So he's one away from a suspension.
That's concerning.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's going to be interesting to see not what we try and do, because you'll probably just see how long he goes without getting one, and when he does, we deal with it. But he's not going to make it to the turn of the year. I'll be very surprised in his role to not get that yellow. And obviously then he'd miss the next game. And it's one of them. It's whether you go, all right, go and get booked against Forest, because we've got City away after that anyway, but it's going to be difficult with or without Adams.
Yeah.
Or you say, but that's the type of game you want Adams.
Yeah.
So would you rather him not be available in a game where we'll have more of the ball and you could bring in a Cook or a Scott in Christian? That is difficult, but I think we won't overthink it. We'll just go, try not to get yellow. If you do, we'll deal with it.
Just don't get one.
I think it's a weird one because at the moment he's like one of the first names on the team sheet. We adore the man, but we've got so many options there that if you lose him for a game, I would feel we'd cope all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blow that he's on 4. And yeah, I think he is the only one on 4 at the moment. I think him and Les is on 3. But yeah, that was a shame. And like you said, didn't really think about it, but you're probably right. They probably started controlling the midfield a little bit more. So is that something to do with that potentially?
Maybe.
Was it, legs in there? Scotty, because obviously Christie come on later, I'm not sure. But yeah, we certainly started losing our way, and Mateta had a decent chance, didn't he?
Yeah, so you didn't see it at the time, but it was almost like an overhead kick pass or whatever that just eluded Baffo a little bit, and it came to Mateta, who hit it relatively well. Probably could have hit it better, but
probably should have lifted it, I think. Yeah,
Petrovic spreaded himself really nicely. That was a big moment.
Because I love him.
Petrovic.
Oh.
I thought, especially in certain moments in the second half when he's right in front of you, when they're putting crosses in, and he's coming out a long way to claim a catch and hold it in his hands.
Listen, we've had loads of good goalkeepers. I think, last couple of goalkeepers we've had, Kepa, I loved him, and Neto made some good saves. They're both really good shot stoppers, I would say. But I always worried when a ball came in because I never felt they could come and, well, they weren't. They just weren't commanding. Kepa was better than Neto. But, I think I remember you said it once ages ago when Travers had a good game at Wolves. It feels like a superpower. Because I feel like we've had so long where we haven't got a goalkeeper that just wants to come and claim, and he always looks like he just wants to come.
Yeah,
and I love that. And there was one, in the first half, just after Kroupi got the seconds, make it 2-0, and he just comes out and catches it. I'm always, I love him. So actually, I don't love him. I like him.
Those are the those are the things that really get a crowd going.
Yeah, I love stuff.
Moments like that, and
Tell you what, he's better. A lot of people saying with Kepa, the difference is going to be that you're not going to notice Petrovic being as good with his feet. I think he's quite calm.
He's not bad.
I quite like him with his feet. But yeah, his distribution, his passing range is not as good.
Yeah.
But he's calm, which I like.
Half time then, I think the emotions were all over the place. I chatted to Mark Jackson on the vlog, who's like, I'm a nervous wreck. I just want it to end now, which I kind of understand. It's nice, actually. By the way, Crystal Palace fans, we've got another show that's coming out over the next week that details our thoughts about the away day experience at Selhurst Park. Now, we did this a few seasons ago. It might have improved. It might have not. Who knows? If you do a couple of things, then you can get that video when it's out, right?
Yeah, if you click the bell, it will tell you when it's out. And then click the like button as well, because that really helps us. Then you might as well subscribe while you're at it, because you've got to play us again and all that good stuff. And we're both trying to, dismantle the top 6 rubbish. So yeah, just come and support us. We really appreciate it.
So you're down in the concourse, the open air concourse, finishing off your halftime J2O.
Of course.
And I don't know if you could hear it over the speakers, Tom, but there was a moment where the fans, the home fans, were in uproar somewhat, and then all of a sudden, this VAR jingle, VAR check. What is that all about? However, there was an incident that you might have actually been able to see through the little gap that there is from the concourse.
Lovely,
and it was, obviously we've spoke about it, Senesi and Sarr, the foul that happened, I think Baffo was square. I think he was running at an angle. One thing I've always wondered, I think I've mentioned this to you on a previous show, do the referees ever take into account the pace of the player that is running onto the ball? For instance, if...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If Roy Cropper from Coronation Street or something. Yeah. I don't know why that's coming to my head.
My reference, I was going to say Steve Fletcher. Because he knows we love him, so it's fine to give him a little bit of grief here. But
I don't know why I said Roy Cropper. I mean, Haley.
Let's just say you.
Probably, but
if you or I are up against Van Dijk,
we know that
we ain't going to get it. So does that come into it? Or if it's a sprinter, if it's Usain Bolt, he probably will. So do they? I don't think they do. I don't think they can.
No.
Can they?
But the moment that it happened, Senesi was square, in my opinion. He was running at an angle, and Senesi Baffo just had to close down the angle, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's a red card. I don't actually think he really does much contact. I think Sarr almost goes into him.
But then you could argue, I don't know, like when Arsenal had a man sent off and Evan Ilson was felled, Saliba, wasn't it? I mean, that was an angle as well somewhat. It
was more that was, I remember he was going for on goal and there was no covering defender, but it was so far away. It was only just past the halfway line, wasn't it? So, right. I could kind of get their qualms then. But, I think it was the right decision, personally. I get why, if you're on the other end of it, you're thinking you could get one here.
Yeah.
But, I was pleased he didn't get sent off for that. And also for Kelsey, Kelsey Bowers was sat
2 rows in front of us.
Yeah, in the away end, and obviously Marcus. And yeah, I would have been a real blow if that was a straight red, mate. That'd have been horrible. So yeah, I was really pleased he was all right with that.
I reckon, as vociferous as the Palace fans are, if that same incident happens and we're playing Manchester United away, I think Senesi goes, because you've got the pressure of VAR and plus you've got 70,000 fans.
Straight red card at Anfield. That's what it is, mate. That's what everyone gets frustrated about. It's kind of what, don't want to go into the penalty again too much, but it's kind of what we say about all this stuff, mate. It's consistency. Yeah, there's going to be there's going to be another tackle like that this season that will be a red card. And there's going to be another foul by Diakite in the box that's not going to be a penalty. There's no consistency.
You can tell that Jared Gillett loved the limelight.
Oh, he loves it. He makes sure he goes over there and goes against the decision.
And then he stands there and he waits.
Talk about it. Yeah, I mean, can the Franks take him back, please?
We could have made it 3. Semenyo blazed over the bar. There was a sweeping move from right to left where Kroupi played it to Justin Cliver. I mean, it was on the edge of the area, but sometimes, like, Semenyo's just got this tendency just to smash the ball over the bar, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, I do. But I do like that he just goes with his power. Yeah, quite like it. But yeah, so you did feel like the more they're going to go for it, if we can keep the door closed, we might have that chance to finish the game. But I felt what they did really well in the second half, particularly, was just they almost missed out a part of the field a bit and just went a bit more direct.
100%. They were playing more direct, and Mateta was key, so he grew into the game massively. And what a player he was. We'll look at the stats from SofaScore later on. I'm almost certain he'll be man of the match, but we'll ask you for the AFCB one as well. Maybe that could be obvious, who knows? But when they did score, it was flagged for offside, but I think I said on the vlog that I wasn't so sure. I wasn't actually sure what the decision was. Was it the first ball forward? Was it the second ball, or was it the actual goal scoring moment?
In the moment, I thought, I don't know what's offside there.
No.
So I was worried. I did think that'll count. A bit strange that, because a lot of the time I think the Lino, doesn't put up the flag because he thinks, well, VAR will tell me it's offside anyway. So if we're going to put it up when it clearly wasn't, it was a bit strange. But he wasn't. Took the goal well, as you say. I think there was some worrying. And Mateta was brilliant. I think you've got to give credit to the centre forward. But there was a few in there that I felt had struggled a bit defensively for us.
Boom, 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 boom. Loved hearing that for the first time. Didn't expect it to be heard for another 2 times. He did score again. It felt much quicker than actually. When you look at the timelines, we'll show it on screen a bit later on, but the gap is about 5 minutes or something. Yeah. But it felt like it was a lot sooner than that. And look, we can look at the first goal and say that maybe like Diakite might have potentially been at fault. I mean, when the ball is fired across like that, it's so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you can make a case in both the goals, obviously taken away from the pen later on. I think these 2 goals, I think you can look at Diakite and the fact that he's got Mateta for both goals and he loses Mateta for both goals. And I also think it gets from the right-hand side for both goals. Trafford gets caught for both goals.
Well, especially for the second one, it's almost like he's trying to be the left-sided central defender, forgetting that there's going to be someone else there. And it was ultimately that ball across that Petrovic, had he got, I don't think it would have mattered if he got a touch or not, because there was someone waiting to put it in.
Regardless, he has to go for it, doesn't he? So it's a difficult one. But yeah, that was the only thing. I think it's, they've both been really, they both gonna be really good signings, both been really good signings. But I think you've got to call it as you see it. I think Diakite was marking Mateta for his 2 goals, and he loses him, and they're both from, and virtually everything they had in that second half was near us, because it was down that side, because Munoz is bloody brilliant. Yeah. But also because I thought Trafford really, really struggled.
To switch over to the other,
not as much as the Liverpool left back this weekend.
Yeah, my God, absolutely dreadful. I've got to talk about our right back, Jimenez. I thought it was, the first half especially, I thought it was brilliant. And it really feels like this is Adam Smith's replacement now. Yes,
it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because obviously we've got an option in there. He's obviously only on loan at the moment. I like what I'm seeing of him. I think with every game you're seeing a little bit more. I thought he's really, really good. I do wonder if a lot of people say he didn't have a full kind of pre-season stuff like that. So I do wonder if he's fading because he comes off all the time and he's not really nothing. You don't feel like you need to bring him off. I think it's not almost a double thing of he's losing his legs a little bit to do the 90, and also he's not massive, and if the team are going more direct, Hill's better in the air. Yeah. But good options to have. I I've said this loads of times, but the better Jimenez keep performing like this means you don't have to rush in Adam Smith from a longer injury. So really nice. Yeah, really pleased with him, mate. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing because I don't think they really got him down that side at all.
No.
So yeah, that's definitely pleasing.
They did put the ball in the back of the net in Nketiah, but that was offside.
Yeah, that's quite clearly.
We made some substitutions. What I liked about it is that he didn't sacrifice the way we play. You'd think with about 20 minutes to go, he sort of knew that there was a big chunk of game still to play. He takes off Jimenez and Kroupi, puts on Adley and Hill. So I suppose that's like for like, but also Ben Gallandoke and Cliver as well, which you'd say is maybe slightly more attacking.
Potentially, I think Tav went a little bit more inside, and obviously Semenyo went up front, didn't he? Which I can see why he did it. Kroupi first. We're not going to criticise Kroupi. He come in and scored 2 goals. But what happens is when you're 2-0 up and your striker's feeling off scraps, you're up against it, that's when you want a striker who can hold the ball up and alleviate pressure, whichever does really well. Kroupi can't do that side of the game. So he didn't, the ball was coming straight back. And I think maybe he thought, well, at least this time when we clear it, Semenyo might be able to hold it a little bit. But it took a lot away from Semenyo.
We didn't really wrestle back control of the game, though, I thought. And our goal that we scored on 89 minutes almost came out of the blue a little bit.
Yeah, they did. I know. I never saw it coming. We've done it so many times as well, where you think, right now we just got to hang on for a draw. There's only one team scoring here. It's going to be them. And then we suddenly, this group and Andoni seem to be able to just find an extra gear. And again, I always go on about it because for some reason I always feel like he is a lot of people's scapegoat to have. Again, I didn't think he was brilliant. Didn't think he was very good in the game before either. But there's a reason why Andoni, we all know, is a bloody good coach. There's a reason why he always stays on, and I think this was a prime example of that. He's just got that. He's just got the engine, and to burst forward like that at the end and play a good ball in as well, right in the right area. But it was just the fact that he just keeps running, doesn't he? And it's a really nice ball. And then obviously the goal machine, Ryan Christie's getting on the end. But again, that's another thing where, because Christie hasn't started the game, his energy's higher. We know how much of an engine he is. He makes that bus get him run into the box, and absolute limbs, mate.
He scored in the week for Scotland as well, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 and 2 for Christie.
And he's also, how old is Ryan Christie?
Yeah, he's just 30 now, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, so he's the first Bournemouth player, 30 or over, to score in the Prem since December 2023.
Was that?
And that was at Palace.
Kiefer Moore.
Big Kiefer, the 2-0 win. So, if I'd known that stat at the time, I would have gone, oh my God, we're winning. I would have got all these omens. But I didn't realise that. But nice little stat. It shows how youthful we are at the moment. But buzzing for Christie. Absolutely buzzing for him. And if he could just pop up with a few, that'd be adding that to his game as well. Jesus.
We did make a substitution after that with Tav coming off Lewis Cook. There is an argument here, and I think Aaron Kay suggests it on X with one of his replies to our tweet that we put out this morning. Could have we maybe put on Velko just to be more defensively solid?
If we bring on, listen, you've got to remember that obviously this is like 91st minute, this sub happens, and they get the penalty on like 95, 96. The only reason we didn't win the game was because of a penalty. It wouldn't have made a difference if it was Lewis Cook, Tav or me on the pitch. But what I will say is I remember, particularly under O'Neill, when you're under it, if you bring off a midfielder and just put on a centre half and then you concede, everyone goes, we invite it on.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about that side at all. I would have understood Milo coming on for Selesi, weirdly.
Okay.
Because I would have just said, that doesn't invite him on. You're not putting on an extra defender. You're just doing a defender for a defender. But I just think Selesi was on a yellow.
Yes, he was.
And he was struggling with the physicality of Mateta. Milo's game is being big and physical. I would have understood that one a little bit more. Would I have taken off Tav for Milo? No, I don't think I would have. It's still a little bit more conservative, bringing on Cook for Tav anyway. I think he does it a lot. There's been games where we've been leading by 1 goal and he takes off Adams, doesn't it? Yeah. And you think, why you take off defence? He just wants legs in there. And Lewis Cook's a really good player. And he probably thought as well, if you think about what Lewis is good at, you've lost Scott from the pitch, because obviously he's come off earlier. And if we did get hold of the ball, and we're trying to, he's very good with the ball. Yeah. And is he thinking we might be able to keep it a little bit and relieve a bit of pressure, rather than just keep lumping it away and get it come back? Yeah. I'm not sure, but obviously it transpired that they, Jared Gillett made it about him and they managed to nick a point.
I think Neil Dawson was on the Vitals forum, and I read it this morning, and he sort of made it an interesting point that there's been this criticism of Andoni and his so-called inability to beat a low block. Yeah. But then fans are also quite critical, or some have been, that we didn't deploy that lower block ourselves. So how can you sort of believe that a low block should be beatable
and then want us to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's difficult. I do appreciate what people are saying, that, listen, you've got a few minutes left. All they're really going to do is try and get the ball in the box and have corners and stuff. Is it not better to bring on someone that can win more headers?
Yeah.
I do get the point. But equally, I felt, particularly, don't mean to have a go at him because he is on Monday Night Football soon. Gary O'Neill, he's on Monday Night Football tonight.
You're joking.
Someone wants a job. But yeah, what I was going to say is, but I remember... Are
you serious?
Yeah. But I remember thinking he would take off someone like a Tav at the end of the game and bring on a Mepham, a Jack Stevens or whatever, and we concede from a set piece or something. So it doesn't always work out like that, but I do appreciate the points that are being made there. I
still can't believe that. I still can't believe that. Look, so we've spoke about whether it was a pen. Oh, hello.
Scummers need
Maybe that's what it is.
No, good point for Southampton.
But then he's Portsmouth, isn't he? So he wouldn't go there. Surely not. So look, Mateta did stroke home the penalty. He arguably could have had a fourth, but would it have counted if it did go in?
I think people have... I was really glad you said this, because I think people are completely not looking at this. Everyone's saying, how's he missed it at the end? I get it, he's having such a good game, he should score that. It's probably his easiest chance of the game, apart from his penalty maybe. But I don't think... I think people are forgetting that if you look just before that, he wins a flick on.
Yeah.
And his... I don't think he deliberately elbows him, but his arm does catch Lewis Kirk.
Yeah.
That I think that would have been overruled, personally. But yeah, I'm surprised he hit it like he did. He was almost like he got so excited that, oh my God, I'm going to go and win the game with my fourth goal. But yeah, fortunately for us, we didn't have to wait for VAR or anything like that. He missed it.
We're checking out the average positions on screen at the moment from SofaScore, as you can see, and also the heat maps as well.
Great game, mate.
It sort of suggests that the game was won and lost in midfield when you actually combine taking a look at the average positions and also the heat maps as well. So look, we've spoke about pretty much every player so far. The stats, look at them. 4.44 expected goals for Crystal Palace versus our 2.03, which is pretty good. But for Palace to be more than double for what we had and still come out with only a draw, they would maybe be a little bit disappointed with 20 of their shots to our 8, 7 of theirs.
From the 5 on target. Close though.
Well, exactly. It's a better ratio in terms of that. All right, man of the match and ratings from SofaScore then. I mean, it's probably clear who the man of the match is. Is it?
Yeah, man of the match is Mateta, obviously. I think... From my perspective, I just wanted to, because we mentioned a little bit about Diakite and Traffert. It'd be interesting to see if it's the same on the ratings. I thought Kluivert was really bad.
Yeah, he was.
Which is, because I totally would have started him. One, Brooks got injured.
Yeah.
And two, you see his impact against Fulham.
Yeah, true.
But a little bit concerned. I'm going to show you a WhatsApp I sent you earlier in the season, actually.
Yeah.
I'm worried that Kluivert's going to start coming into an impact sub thing. Being more of a... Because he was so good last year, but every time he started against Leeds, and he rubbish.
Yeah.
But when he comes on, you think, he's got to start. Just a little bit concerned about Justin because we know how good he is.
Yeah.
He was bad again. But I think obviously it's going to be Kroupi for us. What I will say is I reckon my point of Tav not being bad will be, what's the word?
Vindicated?
Yeah, vindicated here. Because I actually think he's
6.9.
Yeah, one of our better ones. And what did I say? Diakite, Traffert.
He was our third best player, Tav.
Yeah,
according to that.
He did get assists.
Yeah. Petrovic did well with a couple of, big saves, of course. But...
And I said earlier, Kamada impressed me. Oh, God, I'm good. Munoz for them as well, I thought was really good. It's Traffert and Diakite. For that to be on the stats as well shows that's why I like SofaScore, because I can try and back myself up a little bit. But listen, I don't think no one was horrific. It's because what I mentioned about Kluivert, the expectations we have on Kluivert are so high, and Diakite and Traffert have been so consistent, so that was all it was. But on the whole, mate, really not going to have many tougher games than... I actually think we've probably got one coming up as well. 2 of the hardest away games, Anfield and Selhurst, we've got them out of the way, mate, and we've managed to get a point out of one of them. So
that's led me to talk about our next game. We thought it was going to be Ange ball. It's not. It's Dyche ball. From Marinakis, as a player, you're getting Nuno, who's quite pragmatic, but he counterattacks. He's very, I think he's a great manager and ideal for Nottingham Forest, I thought. Yep. And then going to this reckless style that's almost akin to Andoni, but more reckless than that, and maybe a little bit all over the place defensively.
Just don't think about defending them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
And then going to Sean Dyche, who's the polar opposite of what Ange is. As a Forest player, like, I mean, one thing you can say that he will get his players well drilled and doing what he wants. And which is annoying that we're playing them.
Yeah, and they showed last season their defensive outfit can be very, really hard to break down. So I think they're going to be better at that. I also think if anyone's going to get the best out of Chris Wood again, he had him at Burnley. So yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a basket case at the moment, Marinakis as he is. But yeah, it's a shame we've got him now. We never got to play Nottingham Forest Ange, and we never got to play Graham Potter's West Ham. Real blow, because I think we would have had good fun with that. But listen, you could also look at it as, I think they've got a game in Europe before anyway, but you can also look at it and go, is he going to be able to do much with the group in a short amount of time?
Yeah, hopefully not.
Will his style more be implemented in the next few weeks? So we could end up looking and going, I'm glad we got him before they started getting like this. Who knows?
It reeks though, it pongs, it smells, it whiffs of a draw.
Of a 1-0 Kroupi win.
All that. We'll take
it.
Look, thanks for all your comments on X with regards to some talking points. Hopefully we've covered them all. Look, stay tuned, because it's not just us that are having our opinion. The global Cherries are as well. So it's always going to be good to see what Cherries fans across the globe are saying about all things AFCB. Keep it locked to back at the Keep It Locked. Sorry, the DJ.
Yeah. You know what? How can you be quite a good DJ?
Yeah. Coming up next, Spice Girls. Other Chess, you it's.
No Chess. I'm still trying to think of someone.
Venga Boys, I should say.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that goes with the Ibiza.
Good.
We'll go. I can't. We're going to Big Kiefer. No, it's got to be.